Greetings, everyone. Once again, we have this midweek message. I am sure this has become the highlight of your week. My name is Father Joe. For those of you who still don't know who I am, delighted once again to be able just to give you a few brief updates. As some of you may or may not be aware, Father Peter had just a little setback last week. He had to be admitted to the hospital once again for some more back surgery. He came down with an infection that they had to surgically clean out. He's back home at the rectory as we speak on some IV antibiotics, which will hopefully do the trick. He's going to be on them for about 6 weeks or so. So hopefully he's on the road to recovery. And once again, he's grateful for respecting his time of solitude and for the gift of your prayer and for the many other ways that you have shown love and support to him and to me going forward. Father David, on the other hand, is back in the hospital this week as we speak. He's scheduled to undergo another procedure for the treatment of his kidneys, and hopefully this will work for him. So please keep Father David in prayer going forward as well. It's been a very, very rocky road since January for him, as you well know. So let's continue to lift him up big time. Secondly, just to give you a brief update as to the reopening process and how it's continuing to unfold. Beginning next week, we will begin outdoor adoration. Outdoor adoration will begin at St. Anne's next week on Wednesday, July 15th, from 10 to 11 a.m. This will take place in a grassy area just outside the chapel entrance to the church, near the entrance to the prayer garden, which is a nice, cozy, shaded area that will hopefully work. At St. Catherine's, outdoor adoration will begin the following week on Friday, July 24th, from 10 to 11 a.m. And the plan is for this to take place in the gazebo area, which is directly behind the pastoral center. Just pull into the West Street parking lot and somebody will show you, or there will be signs leading you to the gazebo area there. Adoration will probably change as far as days and times going forward to allow more convenient times for those who work. So stay tuned for future days and dates and future times going forward as well. And we'll probably alternate back and forth, at least for now, but these first 2 weeks, this is how we will begin that process. Obviously, if it rains, it will not be had. We're not at a point to move anything indoors as of now. For July and August, we will stick with outdoor liturgical celebrations, and if it rains, you are on your own to use that time prayerfully as you wish, in no less a meaningful and beautiful way. So please keep that in mind. As you know, we have an outdoor liturgy on Sunday, July 19th, 10 a.m. at St. Anne's. We'll do the outdoor confirmation with Bishop Hennessy. If it rains, we will move that indoors because we only have the bishop for that one day. On July 20th, that Monday, following confirmation, we will evaluate the outdoor experience and talk about the possibility of an outdoor liturgy at St. Anne's for the faith community on or around the first weekend in August. We will let you know. We're also thinking about perhaps doing a couple of outdoor celebrations for First Eucharist in late August and in early September, and we'll keep you posted on that note as well. Finally, just a brief kind of a spiritual note. A number of people have been in touch with me over the course of these last few weeks, and it's obvious that the pandemic has taken a toll on people. It has completely pulled us out of our ordinary routines. And I think for the most part, it's left a lot of people, including myself, at times, a little out of sorts. Usually on my days off, I have always enjoyed going back home to the North Shore and getting my errands done and connecting with people and just kind of embracing my weekly, boring routines that I have come to love and I have come to miss during this pandemic. And it has left me a little out of sorts at times there have been times when it's been hard for me to focus and to pray and to make time for the Word of God and just for an awareness of God in my life. I think it's a time it challenges all of us to seek out some new routines, some new practices. Perhaps you've been used to beginning the average weekday with an early morning mass, which you have not been able to do, or you are doing it elsewhere and it may not be the same for you. Whether that's able to happen or not, we have within ourselves to be as creative as possible with the power given to us by God to create new routines that keep us centered and that keep us focused, so that it minimizes us saying things that maybe we regret to others, or doing things that maybe we would take back in a heartbeat if we could. So I just ask you to think about that. These are certainly trying times that challenge all of us to step outside of what we are ordinarily accustomed to doing, and not necessarily to look for God in the extraordinary, but to rediscover him within the ordinary, to rediscover God within the ordinary routines of our everyday lives. And if we take the time to do that and sit with that with some semblance of stillness, we will rediscover our center. We will rediscover something new. And that in itself is extraordinary when you stop and think about it. Thanks for listening. Be blessed and know that you are blessings.